Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me, and I thought that I would do a Where Are They Now video for the Ultimatum South Africa. I have been seeing a whole bunch of videos, like people doing interviews lately, people just popping up on my social media, and I'm thinking, is this a sign? Like, do I have to update the people? Because I didn't even know what half of these people were getting into since the show has ended. So I figured, let's go down the rabbit hole together. Before I do, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. I realize I don't advertise the other channel enough, but I do have a separate recap channel. This is in collaboration with the Unwell Network. So if you're looking for Real Housewives of Atlanta, if you're looking for Temptation Island, if you're looking for some of the Love is Blind content, you will find it over there. So let's get into this cast. We're gonna start with Aiden and Courtney. Not gonna lie to you, when I was doing my research for the Where Are They Now, I completely forgot about this couple. And I think that that's by design. They don't seem to want to be involved in the entertainment space at all. They don't want to be influencers from what I'm gathering. They just live very simple, quiet lives. I think even both of their social medias, not that this means anything, but both of their social medias are under 1,000 followers. Like they don't care. They're living their life. And I love that for them. It looks as if they are married, because I did see them post something. This was Aiden. He said, "To my beautiful wife and best friend for life, may you have the most love-filled and joyous birthday. You deserve all the love, joy, and laughter today and every other. I'm so grateful to be sharing this journey of life with you. Look forward to our wonderful future together. Love you, my ladybug." So I guess they got hitched. I didn't see any wedding photos, but congratulations to them if they ended up getting married. Guys, maybe the experiment works. Maybe if you and your partner are, at a crossroads, you should go on the ultimatum. Don't do that. Let's move on to Isaac and Ruth. Now, I haven't really seen what they've been up to in the past however many months. Has it been almost a year? I think we're pulling up on a year if it hasn't been a year already. So yeah, I don't really know what these guys are up to. You guys will have to let me know if you've been watching lives or if you've been keeping up with their stories and stuff. But I did see that Ruth and Isaac were at a Netflix event. It was called Out of Office not too long ago. So I guess that they are cordial. There is no animosity between them. I think at the time, Ruth was saying that she was seeing somebody when we watched the reunion. And I saw a little glimmer of something on her social media. She hasn't done a full launch, but she's been soft launching this guy. And I'm like, oh, okay, Ruth. Okay, I'm not mad at it. I didn't see anything for Isaac. I can only assume that he is single, or maybe he's just keeping his relationship under wraps. This man loves a long distance secret situation. So yeah, good for Ruth. Moving on to Siza and Lindil. This is where things get a little bit meaty with the couples. They have been doing interviews. Well, he has been doing interviews. They did a Defining Love video. I love that channel. I didn't know if I was going to watch theirs, but I watched it and I wasn't mad that I watched it. But yeah, the rest of the couples, there's actually more things to talk about. So let's start with them. This video posted about 2 weeks ago. They are now still engaged after 2 full years of being together. I don't remember her saying that she was with somebody when they first got together. That was news to me. So they started off being friends because she was seeing somebody, and then eventually they ended up being in a relationship, but it sounds like there was a crossover. And so I watched another video of Lindil. He had an interview with Lungelo, who is the guy who does the interview for Nolla and also for Tabby. And on that video, he said that there was something that they were dealing with before they got on the show, which is why at the beginning when she was like, "Oh, baby," and he's like, "Don't call me babe," like he was very cold to her, it was because they were coming into the show already having some tension. If I'm to put 2 and 2 together, I'm assuming that it wasn't a clean break between her and her ex. And so Lindil was walking into this situation having some feelings about it. I don't know. That's me assuming, right? It's also crazy how they've only now been together for 2 full years. It's been more than that, but 2 full years. And back then it was 6 months. And the man is talking about, yeah, let's go into this process. He explains in that same interview with Lungelo that they both love reality TV. And when they saw the opportunity, it was more like, oh, let's just go on TV. Not like, oh, I really want to be married to this person. And I feel like this is a way to test if we should get married or not. They just wanted to be on TV. And they're grateful for it because it has given them a platform. But they do regret putting their problems on display like that. So going back to the Defining Love interview, she admits that coming off the show, they realized that they did not know each other as much as they thought they did, which is real. She also admits that she needed to grow up and take more accountability. I feel like that's something that they're still dealing with based on some clips from this interview.
I feel like sometimes we need to discuss things other than just, okay, saying sorry. It wouldn't be a thing of like dragging, but we are solving
it. Like dragging.
Baby, I want us to solve a problem. We discuss a problem, okay, this is why ufila anje and this is why namdi fila anje.
Yeah, I think I have you to thank for that because I avoided that. I avoided like talking. Yeah.
Dear Caesar, aka Banana, my soft gentle angel, you've carried me, you've supported me, you've seen confidence in me when I didn't. Thank you for experiencing life with me, learning, falling, getting back together, and fighting this life thing.
Our journey has been one I never saw coming. From neighbors to friends to lovers. Even on the days I question the decisions I make, I never questioned the decision I made when I said yes to your proposal. You are a wonderful dad to our daughter and a wonderful lover to me. Of all the girls that you have given your love to, I am the one that never leaves.
Personally, when I was watching the show, Caesar going to Kanye's villa, I was like, girl. Granted, got to go set her up. Me personally, I still think got to go set her up. But you can see the woman is not okay. Remove yourself from the situation. I think that's a bit of her immaturity playing a part there. Because I was like, why is she staying in this place with somebody who's not in their right mind? Like, don't put yourself in a dangerous situation, girl. Get up and go. But yeah, she does admit that she had some growing up to do. They have a child? I heard that she said, oh, you're a good father to our daughter. So I said, you guys, when did you guys have a kid? But okay, congratulations. I don't know if it's one of them had a kid and the other person is a step parent or they had a kid together. One of y'all probably knows. Let me know in the comments down below. But yes, they are still together. They still plan on getting married. So again, guys, the process works. The process works. Moving on to Nolla and one pains me. It does. I will say, Nolla's interview with Lungelo, it was done 2 months ago, and it's very what's the word? It's all inclusive. It's not just about the show. It actually talks about his life. He's been through a lot. I think that watching it gives us a little bit more context to the guy that he is. He does admit that the things that I've gone through made me a horrible person. And then when you hear him recount the things that he has seen, the things that he has experienced, it is heartbreaking. Doesn't absolve him of his behavior. It just adds some context, okay? So he says that he lost a lot of people in tragic ways, and he admits that it did make him callous and selfish. He calls himself a menace because he has cheated plenty of times even before Lebo was in the picture, and he made cheating his personality. I think that makes so much sense. So much sense. The interviewer, he's so funny because he was asking questions like, well, you now are saying that you're a changed man, da-da-da-da. Why are you now telling us that we should stop cheating? When you had your fun cheating, you clearly enjoyed. Like, he was asking questions to almost bait the person he was interviewing, and I thought it was very interesting. I like somebody who doesn't just interrogate, and I like somebody who isn't just a friend the whole time. You know, have a nice balance, and I think Lungelo has a nice balance in the way that he interviews. It sounded to me like his change of heart, like Nolla's change of heart was due to the fact that he was getting a lot of public scrutiny. So he was like, anything that I would post, anywhere I would go, you would have people attacking me, attacking my relationship, attacking my personality, attacking me, whatever. And I decided, this is not the kind of man that I want to be. I don't want to lose Lebo. Lebo changed a lot for him in his life. Apparently, nobody has ever loved him the way that Lebo loved him. He was used to people leaving, especially because he's experienced loss in tragic ways. So the fact that Lebo was so long-suffering, he was like, you know what? This is somebody who I can't risk. And we know at the end of the show, she was basically like, I'm done with you. Like, they got back together just for her to dump him at the reunion. That was his wake-up call. Like, oh, she actually is going to leave me, and I cannot lose this one. I've lost enough people. So that, along with the public scrutiny, seems to me to be the reason why he now has had this change of heart. He does admit that he cheated. No, he doesn't admit. Yeah, he still can't admit that he cheated in the process because he's like, in the parameters of the show, I was in a marriage. And so we were doing what married people do.
It was put out there to us, we're going to break up in the show. So we were doing things that married people do. I became too comfortable and too committed to the experiment that I even forgot who I came with. So I wouldn't say I actually cheated on the show.
Are you not running away from taking accountability? Because as much as it is a television show, it's a simulation of what real life is. But at the core of who we are, you just told me that you're a person who believes in the spirits that are connected to whom we have sexual encounters with. You invited a new spirit and had a sexual encounter with the new spirit.
I don't know if it was a deception or what, but at that time it felt so good.
Okay. And your feelings at a certain time are valid.
Sorry?
And what you feel at a certain time is valid.
Yeah.
We can't negate that that's how you felt at the time. It felt right and correct.
It felt right and correct at the time.
Yeah.
Because I've spent so much time with this person. Hence, I say I was too committed to the experiment that I even forgot the person that I came with.
Okay.
It's so interesting to see how people try to rationalize their actions on shows like this. It's great for us, the viewing public, but you did know that even after the 3 weeks, you're then going to have to spend the other 3 weeks with your original partner. And then when the show ends, you're probably going to have to go home with your original partner. You're going to have to be accountable to the things that you did and not be like, I was married. And in Africa, it's a little bit interesting because you cannot be legally married and still be considered married by going through like a traditional marriage, right? So I can kind of see how somebody could rationalize, well, we agreed to go into a process where you're in a trial marriage with somebody. I'm now married to that person. I can see how somebody could spin it. I still think it's wild, but I can see how somebody could do that. Guys, after God, fear men. Or fear Nolla, I guess. He claims that he is a changed man and that he has never cheated since. I don't know if I believe that. Even Lebo herself doesn't believe. My brother always wants to call me when I'm filming. Yes, I am filming though. What's up?
Nothing. I was just checking in on you.
Oh, okay. I'll call you when I'm done then.
All good. All right, peace.
Okay, bye. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Lebo sometimes even questions if he really is a changed man. And the interviewer was like, well, how do you deal with people consistently bringing up your past? And he said, I'm not gonna be held in a prison of their thoughts. I said, oh, I mean, that's real. If you have done your work, which is hard for me to believe, but if you have done your work, then you know where you're at. We only know him based on an edited TV show. Lebo is the one who experiences him on a daily basis, and she decides to stay with him. So, well, what can we do? Moving on to Kanye and Gato. Obviously, they are not together, okay? Obviously. Based on her social media, it looks like she's just kind of doing her solo thing. It doesn't look like there's anybody in her life. I think that's for the best. She might need to go to a lot of intervention, therapy, anger management, rehab. I don't know. But earlier this year in January, Gato did come out with a statement outlining more of what happened between him and Kanye. He had spoken about it lightly before because after the reunion, we know that things got volatile, really volatile between them, and he was fighting for custody of his kid. But yeah, let's read this article from News 24, which recounts the things that Gato said about his relationship. Even though I had separated from her, my priority was Kawe. I needed to make sure he was safe during the pregnancy after delivery, Gato shared. According to Gato, the toxic dynamics of the relationship only worsened over time. He recounted multiple incidents of physical violence, including being punched, scratched, and attacked with objects. One particularly alarming episode occurred during Kanye's pregnancy, where he says her aggression escalated, raising concerns for both her safety and that of their unborn child. The arrival of baby Kawe did not bring peace to the strained relationship. Guys, when are we going to learn that babies are not here to solve your relationship problems? Once we learn that, the world will be a better place, even just a little bit. Gato described a shocking incident that became a turning point in his decision to prioritize his son's safety above all else. During a heated argument, Kanye allegedly stabbed him while he was holding their infant son. Now, I'm not going to lie. Watching the show, I was looking at both of them. Kanye, of course, is the obvious, bad person in their relationship. But Gato, to me, had some tendencies that made me question whether or not the blame is fully on Kanye. Seeing or hearing, because we didn't get to see, hearing the things that he experienced during the pregnancy and even after, this woman needs to be behind bars. If, in fact, his recollection of things is fully the truth, then she needs to be behind bars. If there's more to the story, I'm open to hearing it. But right now, Kanye's abusiveness, actually putting people in danger, not only in Gato, but their child, that's insane. So he says, the most harrowing incident came when Kanye stabbed me during an argument while I had Kawe in my arms. The attack left me physically wounded, but my primary concern was for Kawe, who was in the house at the time. Well, yeah, he was in Europe. Anyways, this act of violence was a stark reminder that her behavior was spiraling out of control, and it was no longer safe for my son to remain in such an environment. In honor of your first... Gato took to Instagram to share this statement coinciding with Kawe's first birthday. In honor of your first birthday, Kawe David Mahange, I will share our truth. And that's where all of this came. Well, the post has been removed, so I can't read it. Okay, I can't find the full statement anymore. I should have taken screenshots because back then I did send it to other people who I knew were watching the show. But basically, he does open up more on the fact that Kanye was taking substances while pregnant with Kawe. So that was interesting. And then he ends his statement by saying, my prayer is simple, to be given the opportunity to raise Kawe prioritizes his safety, growth, and happiness. I do not wish to see Kanye punished or vilified. I only wish to provide for my son the way God has called me to. The legal system has often overlooked the voices of fathers in custody battles, but I pray for justice and discernment in this case. I trust that with the evidence presented, the court will see that my intentions are pure and my love for Kawe is unwavering. So yeah, honestly, prayers up for them. That is so terrifying. Like, and even my brother had said this too. He was like, there's a mind shift as a guy when you have a kid. Of course, that's what happens. It doesn't happen for everybody though, so let's be honest about that. And he was like, things that I would do that normally wouldn't bother me, I'm now hypersensitive of because of my son. Like, I'm thinking about my son's safety and wada. So I think if the kid didn't come in the situation, it's possible that Gato would have stayed in that relationship. But now that their son was in the picture, he was like, no, this is beyond me now. I actually need to look out for the safety of my child. I wish that he also had that care for himself, but thankfully, the child gave him a new reality for him to have that check. That's like, no, I've actually been letting too much slide. So, I pray that the justice system does what's best for Kawe, whatever that looks like. And I hope that Kao is in a safe situation. And I hope that Gato is in a safe situation. And I hope that Kanye gets some help. Next, we have Tabby and Genesis. Now, this is what really sparked me wanting to do the Where Are They Now? Because this title, I wasted 8 years. I said, yeah, let's get into it, Tabby. So the same interviewer, Lungelo, is the one who did this interview with Tabby. So Tabby and Genesis met when she was 19. They're the same age, so they were 19. And they were friends for a year before dating. She noticed when she started working, because they were in university, right? When she started working and he was still in school, he was very nonchalant. And she alludes to the fact that he was cheating around that time, but she doesn't want to call it cheating because he was more so entertaining women. He wasn't like full on cheating. I will say, watching this video, I don't know if it's because she still has love for him that she's being so protective, or if she's just so like in such a good place that she's like, it's irrelevant to rehash things. But there's a lot of protection. You can see that there's things that she wants to say about Genesis, but is choosing not to. I think that's the best way to go. You can still share your story and not make it into like internet fodder, like gossip for people to run with, people like me to run with. So yeah, I like the way that she approached it, but it made me wonder, do you still love him or what? By the end of it, she says no, she has completely moved on. She has forgiven him. They've even spoken, and she's totally over the situation. So yeah. She says that he's a person that needs to be begged to do things. And during the time where he was cheating on her, she forgave him because she felt like it wasn't that big of a deal, you know? I think that if we want to be honest, and the interviewer called it out too, if we want to be honest with ourselves, oftentimes we see the red flags in the beginning that end up being the reasons why we end relationships with people in the end. You knew he was nonchalant. You knew he needed to be begged to do things. She even says he's the type of person who is so stubborn that he will do something maybe once or twice just to shut you up. But if he is not convicted to do something, he will not do it. And it sounds like the proposal was also that thing like, Ish, you've been asking about this thing for time, so let me just do it to keep you quiet. But do I actually plan on marrying you? No, I don't. So then she says that they were very happy going into the ultimatum, but they weren't happy when they got engaged. And they had been fighting about the things that happened on the show up until the show aired. So for that whole year leading up to the show, they were fighting. And then they were still fighting even when the show was airing. She says that at the reunion, they were not engaged because it got to a point where she lost respect for him and he stopped trying. She said in the relationship prior to them even going on the show, she was the one who would constantly fight for their relationship. So she got to a point where she was tired of fighting. She's the only one fighting. So what's the point? They both got very comfortable with each other. And so, yeah. Then she says that she can't confirm whether this is true or not, but she does feel like he was talking to somebody at the time that they broke up. And the reason why she thinks so is because they got into a really nasty fight that led them to saying, you know, harsh things to each other. And she was like, I was saying things that were basically like emasculating him, and he didn't react in a way that a man would react typically. So she was like, if I'm demeaning him in a way that comes for his masculinity and stuff, he's probably being affirmed by his masculinity by somebody else. And she even says their breakup wasn't messy. That fight was messy, but their breakup wasn't messy. They just were like, we're tired of trying. Let's just move on. She feels like he was more comfortable with doing that because he already had somebody else. But she cannot confirm. She does say that Genesis did in fact send the letter home to say, you know, I do have the intentions of marrying your daughter, wada. However, when it came to Lobola, not a single cent was sent. Not even $1. Nothing.
Wait, how much did he send home?
What do you mean, how much did he send home?
Lobola?
Yo, it never arrived. I thought he was supposed to come. Like, he had already written the letter and stuff. He was supposed to
What
come.
was in the letter? What? Manifesting.
His intentions of Uzekaya, Azukiva Malobol and stuff like
Yes,
that.
yes.
It was supposed to happen in my birthday month, actually. And yeah, we were still gonna meet with my grandfather and my father to tell, because you know my parents are just My parents are divorced, so now English is into 7
Yeah.
But yeah, before we even got a chance to go tell my dad and my grandfather from my dad's side, like izinto bezingasekho right between us. So we put it on hold. We didn't call it off. We're just like, okay, asime kancane, let's just gather ourselves and then sizobuya. Besingakashukani lapho, we're still together. But we just decided to pause a bit. Because even people were shocked, like our friends and family were like, what? Nina nashukana? No ways. But because Tina, we knew the underlying issues and what we were going through behind closed doors, we knew, Guti, this is for the best. I felt like maybe I'm too much for him. Not less than, but too much for him. Because maybe I'm overbearing. Maybe my personality is too strong. Many times he'd tell me, I need to submit. I need to, yabo. So then, okay, probably, okay, he wants someone softer, someone, yabo.
Timid.
Yeah, someone, yeah.
I don't want to make it seem like this man never would have paid anything, but you mean to tell me y'all were together for 8 years? Y'all were even living together at some point. What man is going to pay lobola after 8 years? What is the saying? Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? Literally, why buy the cow? Literally, why buy the cow? Why pay the lobola? Why give the gifts? Why? When you're already receiving everything without having to pay a dime. Why would he do that? And now you've gone on a show. He even has some popularity coming off of a show. There's even less motivation to do it. So she's like, it was very embarrassing because the family is involved now and everything. And the interviewer was like, well, how's the family involved if he didn't send the lobola? Ish. Everybody was going off of this intention, Genesis's intention of paying things, but he never showed himself to be somebody who was serious. From the beginning, he was nonchalant. He was cheating in their relationship. He stopped trying. He was very stubborn. He didn't send a single cent for lobola. He had been benefiting from the relationship without even having to invest. The man's intentions were clear as day, very clear as day. I'm so sorry. I feel like if you are somebody who is planning for a traditional marriage, same boat. We'll talk about that later. If they're not showing intentions of doing what aligns with tradition, babe, it's never going to happen. A man who's serious about you doesn't have to be told, doesn't have to be convinced. She said, I have to, he's a person, I want to say it in my language, but I don't know how to put it in an English sentence. He has to be begged to do things. No. So I'm not surprised that things panned out the way that they did. She does say that life has been so much better for her since they broke up. Now, we don't know if the breakup is what's leading her to having such a better life, but she's moving to a new place, a new city. She got a promotion at work. She just got a house. She just got a car. 2025 is really looking bright for her, which is great. You see what happens, guys, when you shed that dead weight? Let that man go. Let that girl go. Let that person go. If these people are not serving you, let them go. Let them go. If you are not serving that person, let them go. Just let them go. So that is the recap on the Ultimatum South Africa. Hopefully we get a season 2 because I will be sat right here. I fully enjoyed the Ultimatum. I loved Never Lies. Ooh, should I do a Where Are They Now for Love Never Lies? You guys let me know down below. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.